Okay, time for another quick update. It's been a week or so since I've taken the video, so I better just show you where I'm up to. Obvious thing you might see here is that the radiator is now installed. I've got the top hose connected with the thermostat for the fans hooked in there as well. I've still got to source a bottom hose. It's a bit of an odd shape and size, so I'm still working on that, but that's not going to stop me from a startup, or at least a test crank if I want to. I've also received a new distributor that I ordered in during the week, which is this little baby in here. It's a 43 D4 non-vac Dizzy that was recommended I use, so I went ahead and had that come in, and along with a new Viper coil there. So I've sort of got that wired in, I think, all correctly. And I've gone ahead and got my earth strap put in, and I've got my oil cooler lines in now. And so when I got to that point, I thought, well, then why don't I go ahead and stick some oil in it. So I did that yesterday as well. Put 4 quarts of oil in it. And then I thought, well, I'd better go ahead and crank on it and see if I can get some of that oil through. So I've done that, and I cranked it for about, I don't know, probably about a minute in total over 2 or 3 different stages, and then pulled a line off, and down here on my oil cooler, and sure enough that was nice and full, so it was getting oil. So I went and cranked on it some more, and then checked the dipstick, and sure enough all the oil disappeared out of the sump, so that's a pretty good sign that you're getting oil through the system. So I've got another pack of oil here to put into it. I'm sure it's going to take another litre or 2 to get it back where it should be. At that stage I think I'll probably try cranking it some more just to check it. You'll also see I've got the spark plug leads out here, and that's because I sprayed the bores with some CRC, and that was basically just to clean out any surface rust that might have been on the bores from sitting for the last few years. So as I'm cranking it, it's just clearing those bores out, getting nice and clean. And I've got some new spark plugs there to go in now as well. These are as recommended or sold by P&M Parts for the Lotus XL. For the high compression engine at least, so I've got those to go in. These are the old spark plugs here, so I'll just show you the state of those. As you can see, they're a little bit carboned up, and it looks like they've been in there for a while. So interestingly, they are only BP4s, which means they're quite a hot plug in comparison to the 7. So not sure why they're only 4s, but even the book, I think, says 6s are recommended. So you can see they're a little bit carboned up, so it's either been running too rich, or these are, I don't know, too hot. I don't know. But anyway, I've got the new plugs here to go in, so I'll fire those in. Been out today and picked up some more oil and some gasoline. So that's some 100 octane that we can get out of the pumps here in New Zealand. So I'll throw that in. There's about 6 gallons there, I think. So that'll give me half a tank, which is plenty for a start. So I'll go ahead and pour that in. See if my temperatures, my fuel sender is working, and see if it reads on the gauge inside. You can see I've got the battery on charge, just so I can crank on it. So that's my little fun today, is I'm going to just have a bit of a crank on this today, and you know, who knows, maybe it'll fire, maybe it won't. If it does fire, I'll be extremely surprised, because I can just about guarantee you, with the amount of work I've done this, you know, doing the timing belt and the distributor and everything else over the last few years, I wouldn't be surprised if I'm a tooth out on the drive there, on the Dizzy drive. But you know, who knows, maybe I'll get lucky. So that's where I'm at. I'm going to play around for a little while, then I'll come back and show you when I first start cranking on it, and then let you know what else I'm up to this week. Alright, so I'll put this down for now, and then I'll come back to you, and we'll see if this thing will crank over some more. Alright, out for now. Alright, so this is the first tank of gas obviously in this tank since I reconditioned it. So I guess this is the testing time right now. So yeah, we're quite lucky that we can get 100 octane gas straight out of the pump here now. It's, you know, if you can get it, why not? It's not that much more expensive, and if it gets you a cleaner burn, then it's the way forward for me. So at this stage, I'll be able to test the fuel pump for the first time as well. So I'll show you that process and see if we're drawing fuel through in a minute. I've hooked up a temporary switch for the fuel pump under the dash, so I can switch it on and off rather than just having it on the key. I'll probably leave a switch on it, but I will also be adding the cut-off switch off the oil pressure sender as well down the track. So I've already got the sender unit, it's just a matter of wiring it in. But for now, I'm just I'll get the car running first, you know, before adding the complication of a cut-off switch that might make it harder to start or give me issues. So let's do all the basics first. I think it's a good idea. So this is a 6-gallon tote, and that's a 12-gallon tank I've got in the car now. So it's going to be a nice little improvement over the little 8-gallon tank that was in this car before. Just give me that little bit extra mileage. I have been caught out once or twice already in this car, running out of gas, because you don't quite make the next fuel stop. Righto, we're good to go. I think we'll see if that's going to pull some fuel through. So you can probably see, maybe when you are watching that I've got a bit of a drip of gasoline, and so underneath here it's just my connection pipe there. It's a little bit crusty actually, I really need to replace it, but I'm just going to see if I can crank on this a bit more and get that to stop. So I'm just going to put this aside for a minute and do that. Righto, so I was able to get a couple more turns on that hose clip, and looks like that's done the trick. I'll just have to keep an eye on that now, of course, though. Make sure it is actually sealing up okay. And I think that's done it. Just needed a few more herbs on the old torculator. Righto. Let's see if we can pull some fuel through to the front. So, good news is the fuel gauge appears to be working. It's slowly going up there, as you can see. So that's nice. We'll see how accurate it actually ends up being. It's still rising slightly, so it should go up to about halfway, all going well. Being I've stuck 6 gallons in it. Oh, is it going to keep on going? It's still slowly going. Don't know. See how that goes. Obviously, it's still going up. What else have we got going there? Like the clock. The old clock's trying to tick over. Righto, so I'm going to crank on this now. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm just going to turn the fuel pump on and see if we're going to suck some fuel through here. So, if you listen for it, if I reach under here and do the switch, it should turn on. Should turn on. What have I forgotten? There it goes. And then if I come forward to here, there's my fuel filter. So we should see some fuel come into that, hopefully. There it goes. Nice one, filling up. Perfect. And there you go. Stop clicking, so that means it's full. That's cool. So again, a little self-regulating pump. Only pumps as it needs to. So then I should have fuel in the bowls, I guess now. You can see it's just ticking away as I do that. A little bit of fuel going through the carbies. So that's cool. So I'm not actually going to try and fire it right now. I'm just getting the fuel through. I'm going to disconnect the coil lead just while I'm cranking on it again. I've just topped it up with another 1.5 litres of oil. So it's now got a total of 5.5 litres in it. I'm going to see if that brings up to the right point on the dipstick. Alright, so we'll just come back shortly. So I'm just going to show you what I've got here. So 5.5 quarts, sorry, 5.5 litres, just over minimum on the dipstick actually. So I think I can throw in another 1/2 litre, I think, safely, which will put me up to a total of 6 litres, which is probably about where it should be, I think, just based on the lost capacity from the oil sump that I have through the chopping around that, from reducing it in size to suit the cross member. So I'll throw another 500 mils in it and see how it looks, and then I'll crank on it. Alright, so here we are. I'm just going to crank it over. Got the spark plugs out, coil leads disconnected, so all I'm going to do is cranking it just to try and build oil pressure or get the oil right through the system. So popping out CRC over there. Right, we'll have a look at the dipstick in a second, see how that falls out on the levels. And it's good to see all that CRC flying out. That means it's doing its thing, pumping out all that. So they should be nice and clean. And I can put the spark plugs probably in after the next little crank, I think. Anyway, we'll come back in a second. Alright, so I'm still down on the dipstick here, sort of halfway between min and max, so I'm going to go ahead and put another 500 mils of oil in, which will take me up to a total of 6 litres. So I'm just doing this because obviously, you know, I'm curious to know how much oil this engine takes now that I've cut the sump. So I think 6 litres is going to be pretty close to where it needs to be. Obviously he's just still drawing some oil through and getting rid of any air locks and so forth. So I'll let this cycle through and then rest, and I'll probably check it straight after cranking it, so I sort of know where the level is before it starts draining back from the oil cooler or anywhere else. So slippery the one. Right, so that's that. I'll give it another crank now and see how we look. Alright, 3, 2, 1. Alright, so it's still pumping a little bit of CRC out of the port, you can see here, so that's cool. Should be just about all gone, maybe after one more crank. So I'm just going to let it, well, actually no I'm not, I'm going to pull that dipstick now and see if I can get a reading. Where are we at? We are right on full there, so I don't know, I think we're looking pretty good. I'm going to let it rest now, let that all drain back as much as it wants to, and see what it reads then. I imagine it'll read a little bit over full, which is fine. I really want it, you know, on full under running conditions, I guess, is what I'm sort of aiming for. Alright, so we'll have a look at that in a minute. Okay, so the oil level is sitting right on max at the moment. It's probably drained back as much as it's going to, I think. So I'm probably just going to leave it there for now, and then just keep an eye on it, see if it needs topping up, perhaps after it actually runs. Curiously, I have developed a little fuel leak under that rear carb there. I haven't really worked out where. I'm not sure if it's just flooded or where that's coming from exactly, but obviously I'm going to have to investigate that before I get too carried away here. It's no surprise you have a problem with fires in these engines when you've got fuel dripping over distributor area and starter motor. So anyway, it's not massive, but it's just enough I need to deal with it. So anyway, I'm going to just crank this one more time, just make sure those cylinders are clean of all that CRC, and then I'm going to put the spark plugs back in. Alright, out for now. Alright, here we go. Coil read on. In case you're curious, I do have a fire extinguisher sitting down on the floor over there, as well as the hose just outside there, already on, ready to fire, so it's worst case scenario. So I should be able to now turn that on, got juiced up, and turn the fuel pump on. That's on, and switch. There it goes. Okay. Here goes nothing. Holy crap, did you hear that? Did you hear that? It fired. It wanted to run. What do I do now? First thing, I'm just gonna... Are you kidding me? It's gonna feel... This is just the oil warning light, which you know, pretty much useless. It's going to tell you got oil pressure or not. I do have a gauge in the car, of course, so holy crap. You don't know how happy that makes me. Oh my god. Right, let's try that again. See if I got some oil pressure here as well, eh? Oh, we're running. She's a runner. I don't believe it. How good is that? That was our first startup. I'm not even shitting you. I have not started this before now. She obviously needs a bit of a time work, and she's rocking around a fair bit, so she, you know, timing's not quite right, but holy crap. Oh my goodness, that was just too easy. And it idled, just sat there and idled. Just on the key. I haven't touched the accelerator. I didn't even have the accelerator protected up. I didn't do anything. I just turned the key. How good is this? And I've got really good oil pressure too, by the way. From what I can see, it's well up over 60, probably close to 80, so. Oh my goodness. This is just amazing. I'm not quite sure what to do now. Except, really, just get some water in the thing, I suppose. When you get those hoses finished and... Oh, let's just try something else. That was just too easy. That's why I'm going to run it now. Obviously, I've keep an eye on that little fuel leak. It actually doesn't look like it's. I think it might just be flooded. I don't know where it will be leaking from. Might be just out of the trumpet. And yeah, a good 60 pounds of oil pressure. And that's just the old mechanical fuel gauge, mechanical oil pressure gauge as well, so. That is unbelievable. That deserves a beer. That's what I deserve, is a beer. I'm gonna I'll give myself a beer. Okay, well here we are back again. It's been a few days since that initial startup, and I've just been sort of taking it all in and working out what to do next, really. I have connected up my radiator and heater hoses and just put straight water in the engine, and I've run it for a few minutes to get it up to temperature, and just doing a few tests really, like the fan, trying to get that working. As you can see, I've got a temporary green line there, which is just a wire just to get that fan working off the thermostat switch there. So I'm just playing around with that. I'm not running it too much until I've got a few of these things sorted out. And obviously I still now have no exhaust system on it, so it's a little bit noisy. I don't want to annoy my neighbours too much here, so I'm happy with the fact that it's a runner at the moment. I'm probably just going to work on the exhaust system next, so I can actually sit here and run it without making too much noise and disturbance. I have installed the new oil pressure switch down there, you can see, right in the middle of the screen, there it is. So that's my next thing to do as well, is just to get that hooked up. And also, you can see I've now got an accelerator cable run through here. Again, just a little bit temporary, but it's in place and working. So that's where I'm up to, really. Just trying to do the next steps. So like I say, I'll be working on the exhaust system, so I'll show you progress of that as I do it. And then from there, I'll get the car back down on its wheels probably, and I can actually start, you know, fine tuning it a little bit, perhaps just getting it running a little bit better. Get it right up to temperature, make sure the fan's working, see if it stays at an even temperature, you know, and just all those usual little, not breaking in, but sort of testing things, I guess, make sure it's doing everything it should do. I have had a bit of a noops, which is just totally my mistake, bit of a rookie area really. I wired up my alternator here wrong, and that started smoking at one stage, so I'm pretty sure I've burnt that out. So I'm either going to get that replaced or reconditioned. I think it's not charging the battery. So that's a bit of a bugger, but not the end of the world. I can fix that. So anyway, that's where we're at. I'm going to finish up this video now, and it'll probably be another week or two before I come back to you. As I've mentioned previously, I am on Christmas holidays right now for a few weeks. So between spending time with the family, doing a few things, I will be working on the exhaust system. So I'll come back to you then and show you how that goes. Alright, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to you all.